What's up, guys? Sirius here, and I have finally participated in my first Hearthstone tournament. I actually lost in round 1, but that's okay. I'm 100% fine with that loss. What I'm not 100% fine with is the fact that I actually lost the audio to that. Apparently, I hadn't actually recorded my my microphone the whole time, so all of my commentary and everything else is completely gone. So that kind of sucks. But that said, I will be playing the footage, and I'll go ahead and play it sped up since my my commentary is not going to be there. But my opponent was Fwan, and very, very good game, Fwan. I may have made a few mistakes during the game, but that's just the way things go. And you were an excellent opponent. I truly enjoyed our game 3. You dominated me game 1, I dominated you game 2, and game 3 we just beat each other up until the very last cards, and I was... That's the first time I've been truly thrilled with a game of Hearthstone in, you know, probably ever, if not quite some time. But this is actually getting to be a very, very long intro, so I'm going to go ahead and roll the footage, and let's go ahead and do our thing. Alright, well, game starts, and I try to mulligan out and get a better opening hand, and I actually do. I get a pretty decent opener. Would have liked something else instead of that Dr. Boom, but, you know. So I didn't quite figure out why he took so long on his turn right here, but, you know, he did. Sped up footage is sped up. If you think it's long for you right now, it was definitely long for me. And he ended on a wild growth, and I was quite confused. But, definitely got the swagger field going on here. I see the piloted Shredder. I deuce the Shredder. I don't get the totem I want. I want a taunting totem right now. He gets the Loatheb out. I can't respond to the Loatheb at all, so he gets to have his turn. At this point, I'm just concerned that he's going to drop a Wrath on me and ruin my day. And instead, he gets rid of both of them and gets rid of my mechs. So now my Power Mace is in a bit of a problematic area. So I can totally drop my Power Mace and kill some stuff, but I completely lose my ability to get mech synergy off of it. And I feel like this is where I made my first mistake. I held on to my Power Mace way too long. I should not have. I should have used it earlier. This is where I first start making this mistake. Obviously, I can't do anything with it right now. Like, I should have swung. I should have swung right there, but I didn't because I'm dumb. And then his swipe gets to kill both of the bombs, and I lose all my board presence, and yeah, it's not fun. It would have been good to actually have some board presence still at the end of that. But that's fine, because it's still a good game to me. Yeah, this is about where he starts pulling ahead, and I decide instead of taking his life total out, I'm gonna make terrible decisions with my life. And so he drops that out, silences it, and just kaboof. All of my board advantage is now gone down the drain. And I did it to myself. Like, I should have swung in. I don't know if things would have gone better for me if I did, but yeah, I can't close out this kind of game. The only way for me to have closed this out would have been for me to drop the spell totem, drawn a second crackle, dropped both, and gotten both of them in the 6 or 7 area, and that was my only out. And that's way too much chance. That's like layers and layers of chance. So he gets game 1. Game 2, I decide that Mech Shaman wasn't doing it for me. It didn't make me lose. I made me lose, but I wasn't feeling Mech Shami. So I swapped over to Patron Warrior, and he swapped down to Mage. And I was hoping that he would go into Hunter because I have a natural affinity for beating Hunter on Warrior. But instead he went for Mage. And things still went fine, because right here she's developing a good hand. We both have Acolytes of Pain, but I can get my Acolyte of Pain to give me more advantage than hers. And I can drop that down too, so no matter what she hits, I'm going to be able to draw cards. So there's my Patron. I double up on Patrons early. I try to close out the game before Flame Strike can become a thing. Try to get out the Berserker again. I desperately want this game to be over before Flame Strike exists. And he manages. He drops down a secret. I don't know what it is yet. I haven't had the ability to bait it out, but he Frostbolts out. So we go in. It's not a Vaporize. It's not any of that stuff. It's an Ice Block. So I lose the ability to close out the game now. But he obviously doesn't have anything else in his hand to go against. So I decide that on the off chance that he goes into his Hunter, I might as well go into my Pally and see how things go. But I get, again, a perfect early game hand, dropping down these 2 zombie chows. Yeah, they're 10 potential life, but I mean, we're just going into the face as hard as humanly possible now. The face is mine. I want it. I will be taking down every single bit of face that I can. I give these things taunt, that way my zombie chows will stay on the field a little longer. So at this point, he's just trying to get rid of my stuff. Doing a very good job of it. I drop down the Kazan Mystic, take that Ice Barrier, but I can't quite close the game out. And this is where things start going just massively downhill. Well, not really. This game goes back and forth for quite a while. There's that Ice Barrier. First Ice Barrier helping the game along. So I decided to go for this in the Consort because I want my next turn, if I need to be a Azure Drake Consecrate. Obviously I don't need to, so I swing in, drop that down just to trigger it. And that was actually a terrible mistake. I should not have done that. Later I learned that that was not the best thing I could have done. But I dropped down Neltharion, get the big game hunter in my face that I deserve. I did not get any burn spells from the mage class, so here I am. Things are now officially awkward. Alex draws his life back up. Time to clear out some of that board. You don't need it, I do. You have a polymorph in your hand too, and jeez, things are just not in my favor right now. I want to drop the Chromagus, but I fear polymorph, so I instead try to make the Thaurissan less of a threat, because I do have to deal with that. I do desperately have to deal with the Thaurissan. Try to go into face, try to get that advantage I had back. Mage starts out. Alright, it's not the spell you think it is. And there's the counter spell protecting my Chromagus. But instead of me taking face damage from Raggy slams into me, and I could have really used keeping Chromagus right there, because double Dr. Boom would have saved so many lives, and being able to just keep Chromagus out, slam into Thaurissan, deal with that threat now, just But this is where I needed that consecration that I used so early and should not have. Equality everything out and drop Tyrian Forgery so that no matter what you swing into it, it will die. Trigger, trigger, trigger. Keeping that Emperor Thaurissan out. Got Majordomo out. Right now I'm questioning the Majordomo because I don't see what the Majordomo is going to do. But turns out the Majordomo actually turned out to be a very good play because mages have secrets and secrets are cool. And right about here, I'm starting to really regret some of my life choices because I'm looking at a field that is infinitely better than anything I can put out, and I'm frozen, so I can't use my Ashbringer. But I've got a True Silver Champion in my hand, so I try to trigger her life down a little farther, get some more minions out. But he's got another Flame Strike, so I don't have the ability to just make that thing not hit my big guys, and I'm and there's an ice block or ice barrier. And yeah, this is where things are over for me because I can't close it out. Had he not had the ice barrier, then I would have been able to close out with exactly 8 damage, but that was definitely not the case. That said, though, that was a good match. Good match, Fwan. You did excellently. I did my best. You were a better player than I was. Excellent game. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And I very much look forward to playing you in the future, and I definitely look forward to playing in another $5 Holla tournament. So, that said, go ahead and go to the closing area of this vid. Hey, if you're here, then you made it to the end of the video. If you like the video you watched, then you should probably hit the subscribe button. You'll definitely find more of those videos if you do that. You'll see them come up whenever they're done. That said, if you also want to see any more of my content, I'm starting a series called Hearthstone, a free-to-play adventure, and I have the first episode, which is just how to get started on Hearthstone. It's there in the lower right-hand corner. And if you have any comments for me, you should probably say them in the comment section. You know, that. So without further ado, this is Cirrus from Top Tier Scrubs signing out. You should totally do those things. Those things I said to do. Yeah. Those.